In case of too much pressure,
Please help me, help
be
me.
sure to start the flow of oxygen. Just like that.
Caelynn and Dean's engagement party, Sarah Hyland responding to Chris Harrison's comment about Wells, and a new promo for Zach's season of The Bachelor. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Shared News update. We are breaking down the biggest Bachelor Nation headlines today, checking in on some of our favorite couples and getting ready for Zach's season. But first, if you are new here, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future updates. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Wright, joined today by Kayla G, the newest member of the Shared News team, and Kayla T. You guys, I want to start with Sarah Hyland and Wells and Chris Harrison, a little love triangle, if you will, because a major Bachelor Nation story recently has been the release of Chris Harrison's new podcast, the most dramatic podcast ever. And in the first episode, Chris talked about who he thought would end up taking over for him when he left after Matt James's season. Chris said he thought Wells would have been a shoo-in to replace the longtime host. And now we're getting Wells's wife, Sarah's opinions on the matter. She was asked about this comment at the Critics' Choice Awards on Sunday, and she admitted she had not listened to the podcast yet, but responded with, "Everybody loves Wells." My question for you is, will we ever stop asking ourselves the question if Wells should have been the host? From now until the time that Bachelor goes off the air, will we be asking this question?
Yes, is the very short but very true answer. I mean, he's got everything going for him. He's got the charm. He's got the looks. Like, I know people have a crush on Jesse Palmer, but Wells Adams is more my type. Any day of the week.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, I agree with Chris, although I have thoughts about Chris and this whole podcast. But yeah, it's true. I mean, Wells to me was the perfect option to take over as host of Paradise. I mean, he was not only on the original Bachelorette, also on Paradise himself. So I feel like he gets it. He knows that this show was kind of different from just a regular Bachelorette season. I feel like Jesse Palmer didn't really give us anything different from him, being the host of Bachelor. So I don't know. To me, I think I agree. Wells should have been the host, but Bachelor Nation loves to fumble the bag. So
I truly am waiting for the day that Wells Adams steps away from Bachelor Nation, because he could, especially now that he's married to Sarah, who's now the new host of Love Island, the USA version. So I feel like if Wells was disappointed that he didn't get the promotion, if you will, he very easily could walk away from Bachelor Nation and have more opportunities in the reality TV hosting world because he is so beloved. I mean, we talked about earlier today this new Netflix show that's coming out with 9 different shows all in one with Perfect Match. So I feel like Wells really could find something else if he wanted to, and if he felt like he kind of got looked over for this. But my question also is there any other Bachelor Nation member that's like as beloved as Wells that would have been well received as a host? Because I truly can't think of any. I mean, we did have Tayshia and Caelynn, who I think did a good job, but I'm just going to be honest. I didn't get host from them. I got peers from them, where Wells, he has a background in radio. He was a host for a long time. I feel like he's kind of the only one that could have taken the reins. Do any other Bachelor Nation members stick out to you guys? Or do you think we'll be stuck with Jesse Palmer for the rest of our life?
My answer is we'll probably be stuck with Jesse Palmer, but I can dream. I do think that since Tayshia and Caelynn stopped being the host, Tayshia has gotten individual hosting jobs. I believe she hosted one of the award shows. So she is kind of stepping more into that role. So maybe her as an individual host of The Bachelorette and Wells Adam being the individual host for The Bachelor, that's my dream.
I agree. I was going to say Tayshia for Bachelorette. I think Caelynn was also really good, but I think Tayshia has, like what Kayla just said, she's proven. She hosted the VMAs, and so it's like she really could have done the Bachelorette hosting role. I think for The Bachelor, I don't actually see Wells hosting The Bachelor, but I definitely see someone like a Nick Viall or even a Sean Lowe hosting The Bachelor. I think we're definitely in the vibe of we want someone who is a veteran of the show. We want an alum. So I think them kind of, well, with Nick, he's been on multiple seasons and spin-offs of the franchise. And then for Sean, he's the only, well, I guess we'll count Ari, but he's one of the only bachelors who's still married to his final pick. So I think Sean would have done a good job, but yeah, we'll probably be stuck with Jesse for a while with Wells as like tag along for Paradise.
No shade to Jesse. I mean, he does a fine job. I feel like he does host the show, I just feel like there's no difference between Jesse Palmer and Chris Harrison, which maybe that's what ABC wanted. Maybe they wanted a smooth transition where there's very little difference in the hosts. Two people that I don't think we'll ever talk about in the mix of hosting Bachelor shows, Dean and Caelynn, although we're still celebrating them nonetheless. They had a very romantic engagement party this past weekend and they looked so good. I also think this is the first time I've seen Dean clean up since he's been on The Bachelor. We're always seeing them hiking these mountains and living in vans. So to see them in kind of soon to be husband and wife role, like dress wise, I thought was really nice. They look amazing. The engagement party was at Studio City Retreat Estate in Studio City, California, where guests dined on appetizers like sliders and charcuterie, as well as tomato soup and grilled cheese. Caelynn said it's more casual, comfort food. She also gave an update on what she called the heavy lifting for wedding planning, saying that they think they found a venue, and she said yes to dresses. Plural, definitely more than one. So my question, how many do we think Caelynn will have? Because I would not be surprised if she had 3.
Yes, I could see that too. Because, there's always the ceremony dress and then the, oh crap, what's the word? What happens after a wedding, guys?
Reception.
Reception. Thank you. Reception. But a third one would just be a very diva mood in the best way possible.
Yeah, I could see the third one potentially being the dress that you leave. You know how they have the, people are standing and, the little, you walk through everybody and they're kind of either have the sparklers or rice or whatever. Yeah. So maybe she has another dress for that, but it seems like she's going all out. And yeah, she looks beautiful. Even in the, engagement party outfit is so stunning. So
I know they do look so good. I know that Dean and Caelynn catch a lot of flack just because their relationship isn't, the typical Bachelor relationship that we see, but they do look really happy. And, if this is the road that they had to take to get there, I'm glad that they made it there. She also said no bridesmaids or groomsmen, that they will have a best man and a maid of honor, but they won't stand at the altar with them. So the only people that are going to be at the altar are Caelynn and Dean. Do we like this idea? No wedding party. I actually am here for it. Let me tell you why. I'm getting married to someone who half of his friends live in South Africa and the other half live in London. And how he got 7 guys to say yes. I don't have 7 girlfriends. I do not have 7 people that I can ask to be my bridesmaids. So when I was reading this, I was like, maybe I'll tell David, no, we're not going to have any of that. 1 maid of honor, 1 best man. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I barely know 7 people. So what I did, thankfully, I have 1 sister. And so it's a really easy mix. And he has 1 brother. So what we did at my wedding is I just had my sister as the maid of honor. He had the, not man of honor, best man. And it made it really simple. That can get, wedding planning already is kind of crazy. So to get that factor off of having to pick your bridesmaids, potentially hurting feelings, where they stand, who gets closer to, kind of almost like the Real Housewife, who gets to sit closest to Andy. So good for them. I think it's a good choice.
Yeah, it's funny, Morgan. I was going to ask you that actually on this panel is what were your thoughts on that? Cause I know you're planning a wedding right now, but I think for me in the foreseen future, I probably would lean towards something like that because I have so many people in my life that I cherish and love so much. I don't think I'd be able to pick 5 or 6, it'd be 15 bridesmaids because I have a big family as well. So I have cousins and aunts and all that stuff. So I probably would lean towards 1 person and it just be it just makes everything easier. There's no potential drama or, just just too much to like, keep in order with just the people in your wedding party. So yeah, I think that's a smart idea. Very chic as well.
And my other thought for these two before we wrap up with them, is there any chance that Dean and Caelynn will have a filmed Bachelor Nation wedding? I'm trying to think of all the ones that we've seen before. Obviously, Sean and Catherine. We didn't see Ari and Lauren. I can't remember. Do you guys remember who all has been married on TV?
If I'm not mistaken,
goodness, definitely some
Ashley and
OGs.
JP. Yeah.
Okay,
I
yes.
think
yes.
Ashley and JP were married, but they have since
I think
divorced.
Jason
but
Mesnick too.
yes, I think so.
So,
Oh,
any
geez, it hasn't
predictions?
happened in a
Will they
while.
or won't they?
Yeah.
I say no. I think they'll have an amazing videographer and they'll post something amazing on social media, kind of like their engagement party video they posted.
Mhm.
But no, I do
Mhm.
not think we will see it on ABC.
Yeah, I'll have to agree. 1000%. No way. I think, like you mentioned earlier, Morgan, Caelynn and Dean, they didn't have the best run in the franchise. I mean, I think everyone looks at them
Mhm.
now and is like, okay, God bless. But, they were a little problematic. So I don't think the fans would be like jumping on it to watch their wedding. So I think it's better they just, do their thing. I mean, they had a little small cameo in Paradise, but I don't know how that really panned out for like, the fans' response. So I think it's safe to say we won't be seeing them get married on ABC.
Yeah, we'll be seeing it on social media like the rest of the
For sure.
world. I believe these two are getting married this year. So, to wrap this up, who do you guys think is going to be next to get married? We have a lot of engaged couples kind of in the balance. We have Dylan and Hannah, Kenny and
Mhm.
Mari, Brandon and Serene, Jason and Caitlin, and Becca and Thomas. And I feel like I haven't heard a lot of wedding updates from any of these couples. If I had to guess, I would say Brandon and Serene because they're just so head over heels in love with each other. But let's just do a quick prediction before we move on to Zach. Kayla G, what do you think?
Yeah, so Brandon actually didn't ask me anything on IG, and they said they're looking at 2024 dates. So,
Okay.
I mean, it really could be the soonest. Maybe Caitlin and Jason? I don't know. I think we're gonna have a lot of 2024 weddings. I'm not so sure about 2023.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe if I bet on anyone for 2023, it'd be Kenny and Mari. But that's because I follow them and I see them, the little things that they're posting about when it comes to their wedding plans. But I want to say Dylan and Hannah G, but I mean, they've been engaged for what seems like forever and haven't seen anything kind of the needle move on that. But I'd say
Yeah.
Kenny and Mari.
What about Becca and
All
Thomas?
right. Yeah, Becca and Thomas, I feel like have kind of been pedal to the metal wedding planning, right? Am I making that up or am I
Yeah.
just
I'm
manifesting
gonna
that? Because I
change
really
my
want to see them get
answer.
married.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Becca and Thomas first. That's my final answer.
Okay, final answer. We have one more headline to get to because we have a brand new promo clip for Zach's season, which is less than a week away. Where are we at on the excitement level for the next season of The Bachelor? I have to be completely honest with you. I'm no joke at a 0. I'm being so real with you because there's so many other things on right now. Love Island UK just
Mhm.
started and it's going to suck like 40 days of my life away because I'm so invested in it. So I'm really having to like gather some strength to be up for this. But maybe if you guys are more excited, I'll jump on board. Kayla G, where's your head at?
Yeah, I think being excited for the season versus being excited for Zach in particular, like a lot of times, the castmates are who really make the show. Or to see if there's any reality stars made through this. So I'm optimistic, but I don't think Zach as the Bachelor specifically is going to be enough this season. But I will be recapping every week. But it's going to be a harder one for me. It's definitely not an excitement level I had for like Gabby and Rachel, for example. I was freaking out. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I feel that. I think Gabby and Rachel, I was super excited. With Matt James, when that announced, I was excited just for like the first Black Bachelor. So yeah, I think that's a good differentiation between, am I excited for a new season of The Bachelor? Sure, yeah, I'm always excited for a new season of The Bachelor. I feel like it's a new year, it's brand new, it's fresh, it's kind of like clean slate. Am I excited for Zach? I think how I feel is I I feel like I have hopes for Zach. Not the highest hopes, but I have hopes that he'll bring something old school in that I think it's really going to be about like the love, the romance, and the emotion and the drama that can come from that and not necessarily the concocted, produced stuff that we've been getting for the past couple of years that as a fan from since I was a kid, I'm kind of like, what the heck's going on? What is this show anymore? So I'm excited to see that emotional side of Zach as a lead, and hopefully that'll bring something a little bit with more depth, some more layers to the show. But yeah, I think the cast of girls is, that'll be the test of like, what are we going to get from this season? So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, well, let's check out this trailer and give some thoughts and opinions. Maybe this will get my excitement level up.
Welcome aboard a first-class season of The Bachelor. Please fasten your seatbelts. This will get bumpy.
Okay, initial thoughts. I'm already over we've been there, done that with the pilots. We had Pilot Pete, we had Pilot Rachel. Like, why are we going down this road again with the pilot stuff?
Yeah, so this is actually my very first time seeing it. So my initial reaction is I just kind of wanted to dance. I really liked this like first class. Like I was really into that.
Right,
so that's the first thing I was excited about.
Yeah, I think Morgan, they chose these clips of the helicopters because of the song. But yeah, I hear you when it comes to them, recycling the same kind of dates. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of that. But I noticed that I think that this girl, I always got my my little microscope over here. I think that this girl in the helicopter with him could be Genevieve or Allie, which I remember from the cast. So I'm already like excited to see like who's getting one-on-ones, and I'm like scoping it out. And yeah, I think that's an interesting choice for Zach. She's beautiful. But yeah, I'm excited to see that date. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, I'm intrigued.
Jumping out of airplanes, and we get a lot of tears in that first clip, which a tale as old as time. Everyone's gonna be crying. Let's see the next clip. See if there's anything else interesting here.
Locate your nearest emergency exit. In case of too much pressure,
Please help me.
be sure to start the flow of oxygen. Just like that.
I'm just having flashbacks, you guys. I'm having flashbacks of Pilot Rachel crying on the stairs. I'm like, what is happening? Why are all these situations exactly the same? Hopefully the production won't like turn up the crying to make it sound way louder than it actually was, like they did with Rachel. But anything else you guys want to point out from this second clip?
I did notice a Jesse Palmer and Zach embrace. Maybe we'll see a bromance this season.
Yeah, that caught my eye as well. I think for me, it's like what I was saying earlier about we're going to see some emotions from Zach, and I think that'll be really nice. And hopefully it's not going to be like he's crying every week about something going down. We saw that way too much with Gabby and Rachel's season. But hopefully it shows that he really cares about, the connections that he's making. And yeah, so it should be interesting to see. And hopefully, yeah, Jesse is there for him as well. Like that'll be nice, because last season it felt like a little distant between him as a host and the leads. So
in this next clip, we're going to see where all they're traveling to. So keep your eyes peeled and maybe think about which date you would want to go on in our last clip.
No matter your destination, we hope you enjoy the journey.
That was insane.
Okay, so we have Estonia, London, the Bahamas, Budapest, and Thailand. Overall thoughts on these destinations, and which one would you guys want to go to?
I definitely feel like they've gone to Thailand a few times, and one of my favorite things is like the bloopers at the end of like the monkeys. Like I feel like that might be an opportunity. So definitely Thailand's like towards the top of my list of where I want to go next.
Yeah, Thailand for sure is on my list. But I think for me, Budapest, I've always wanted to go to Budapest. So whoever got that date, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see like just all the places they get to go. I just feel like it'd be just really, the bike ride, just so quaint. And I don't know. Yeah, that should be really exciting. But I'm surprised that they're showing these clips because, again, me with my little eye, I'm like, I'm already seeing women who are going to be going far because of these travel dates that they're getting, these one-on-ones. So, yeah, can't wait for the season to start. I don't know. I'm getting excited, guys. Maybe I'm just in the minority, but I'm like, show
Well,
me
I
more.
mean, as a frequent visitor of London, because, my fiance lived in London for the past 6 years, so I've been there multiple times. I think London is a great city, very romantic, lots of scenic sites. So, perfect place for them to go. And who doesn't love the Bahamas? I mean, come on. If I could get on a plane to the Bahamas right now, I would go. So, okay, I was at a 0 before this clip. I'm at a 1.5 on the excitement scale, and we still have a couple of days for me to make it up to at least a 5.
I get
So,
it.
fingers crossed I get there soon. Thanks again for hanging out with us for the Bachelor Nation headlines. If you want to leave a thought, a comment, an opinion on anything that we discussed today, whether it be gearing up for Zach's season, whether we're still going to debate on Wells being the host or Dean and Caelynn updates, we love to hear from our shared news family in the comment section. So please feel free to do so. You can come say hi to myself, Kayla G, and Kayla T on our pages. Our handles are on the screen now. Before you go, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, ring the bell so you don't miss out on any Bachelor Nation updates. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Wright. We'll see you back here next time. Bye, everybody.